and welcome to this week's Illinois Wesleyan Titan Coaches Show. I'm Eric Stock, joined by Maya Smith, the women's head basketball coach at Illinois Wesleyan. Coach, welcome back.
Thank you, Eric. Good to be here.
So 11 straight victories now, beating North Park on the road on Saturday. I know that that wasn't maybe the picture-perfect performance for your team. You did win by 30, and I know it's not about margin, but about making sure the team gives you a crisp 40 minutes. How do you feel looking back on it and reviewing the tape?
Well, first of all, Eric, I probably owe you an apology because somebody said, I saw your interview, I saw you standing there talking to poor Eric. So I guess I was not being very cordial, but you know, we won by 30. That's a good thing. And I didn't feel like we adhered to our game plan, and we missed a ton of layups, easy shots. And I don't know if that was my fault or the girls' fault, but I had told the team for 2 days, don't look for the foul underneath. They go straight up, they don't foul. And we were still overshooting it. I mean, there were times we shot a layup, it didn't even hit orange. So I don't know if I had it in their heads or if they were just, they did make a comment that the ball seemed really bouncy. Like Maddie said, I bounced it and I thought it was going to come up and bust my chin. So, you know, I have no idea. But we missed a lot of layups. We actually shot better from three-point line than we did field goals. So we'll see.
But that seems, I would imagine, certainly correctable. Maybe that's just a fluke incident.
Well, we worked on it a lot the last 2 days, so.
I imagine so, with the basketballs with the right amount of air in it, and they made them all, I'm sure, right?
They made most of them.
Made most of them, okay. So how do you feel the team is overall looking at big picture? Certainly been on a roll here the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, the big picture is both good and a bad thing to look at. I know a lot of people are really, you know, excited about where we're at, and there's a lot of, I don't know, people trying to forecast what we're going to do maybe. But we are really zoned in on the one game at a time. And I know that's such a cliche for a coach to say, but that's where I've got to keep them. I've got to keep them Millikan focused right now. And I think that's what they're doing. They seem to agree with me. They know that they are a good team. They know they got to get a little bit better every day in practice. And I think we're trying to work towards that. And I'm just really having an easy time with them. It's been, you know, I ask them to do something and they try, and that's all you can really ask of a team, I think.
Sure. So they're very coachable, and if it doesn't quite work out, you can still fine tune it as you go.
Exactly. And this team is probably the most coachable team I've had in the last few years. It really is.
Interesting. Well, you continue on the road, as you'd mentioned, at Millikan on Wednesday night, then to Carroll on Saturday, starting with a Millikan. Down a little bit this year, maybe, still looking for their first conference victory. How do you look at that matchup?
You know, our theory, and it's the first thing on our prep sheets, is a starving dog finds a way to eat. So, you know, we figure they're going to come back in. Nobody laughed at that.
I thought it was good. I was writing it down, didn't you see?
You know, they're 0-6, and that's the team that you're most concerned with because that's the team you cannot lose to. That's the game you have to win. So we've got our girls prepped for that, and you know, I tell them too. I said Millikan plays a different level of ball at their place. It seemed, you know, 3-point shots go in from the baseline off the backboard. It's just different things happen. They've got a confidence playing at home, much like our confidence is here when we play in the Shirk Center.
So then you face Carroll on Saturday on the road before you finally come back home again for 3 straight, North Central, North Park, and Augustana.
Going up to Carroll, I actually have not seen them at all on film yet. I've seen some of their scores. They're pretty much still led by the one player. So, you know, we'll get to them. Although they've beat a couple of teams already, they've got a couple of wins in the conference, so that's good for them.
We will be talking with 2 of your high-impact freshmen here, Raven Hughes and Kendall Sosa. I want to give you an opportunity to talk about what kind of contributions that they have been able to make in their first season here at Wesleyan.
Well, if you don't know those 2 names, then you've not been to a ball game yet because those 2 freshmen are really, really talented. We started Raven the other day at North Park because Sydney Shanks was ill and didn't make the trip, and she ended up being our leading scorer as a freshman. And Kendall Sosa might be one of the most, I'm going to use the word, courageous and accurate shooters I've had in a long, long time. She's almost money. She and Nina Anderson, one of our juniors, put them on the wings against the zone, and life gets easy, I think. So I just like the way they both, Kendall her basketball IQ is up there. She's really smart, and Raven is just a game changer. You put her in the ball game, and immediately the intensity picks up, the hustle picks up, and she makes things happen. So I could not be more pleased with the way the two of them are playing right now.
So Kendall is a courageous shooter. I don't think I've ever heard a coach refer to a shooter as courageous. Usually you want them to be a little less courageous about the next shot, but you see that in this case with Kendall.
I do, and it's funny, Kendall makes me laugh. When she's on the floor sometimes during games, in the most serious situations, that kid can make me laugh. And to me, she's just, nothing phases her. She's not worried about who's defending her. She's not worried about where the shot clock is or anything like that. She just knows that when the ball is in her hands and she's open for the shot, she's going to shoot to make it. And I love that about her.
That's interesting. Well, as you talked about the anticipation that comes from fans, I guess you can just let the fans worry about that and the media and all that. And
perfect.
Then your team focuses on one game at a time.
Yeah. Your job to worry about that for me, okay, Eric?
Yeah. So a starving dog will find a way to eat. Is that right?
Starving dog will find a way to eat.
That's a good one. We'll remember that for next week.
Yeah. I hope Millikan stays hungry after tonight.
After tonight, indeed. Well, thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.